You know that feeling, right? You're in a meeting, the energy is high, and you come up with these huge, world-changing ideas. But then, how do you actually turn all that ambition into real, measurable progress? Well, today, we're going to break down a simple formula that does exactly that.
I mean, it's a classic story. You have these brilliant brainstorming sessions, but then a few weeks go by, and you're kind of looking around wondering, what actually got done? That gap between a great idea and actually making it happen, it can be super frustrating. But what if there was a proven way to build a bridge over that gap? A system that connects those big, exciting goals directly to the everyday work that, gets you there. And that framework is called Objectives and Key Results, or OKRs for short. Now, this isn't just another buzzword or some piece of corporate jargon. It is a really clear, super concise way to get everybody on the same page, all focused on what truly matters. I love this quote because it really gets to the heart of what makes OKRs so different. It's not about just tracking a bunch of tasks. It's about capturing ambition. It's about putting words to your mission and then building the exact roadmap to get you there.
So how does it actually work? Well, the beauty of OKRs is just how simple they are. They really just boil down to two basic questions. What do we want to achieve, and how are we going to know if we've actually achieved it? That's it. The what and the how.
And this slide lays out that formula perfectly. It's as simple as filling in the blanks. You just state, I will, and that right there is your big, inspiring objective. And then you follow it with as measured by, and those are your specific, concrete key results. That is the entire core of it.
Okay, so let's dig into that first part, the objective. Think of this as your destination on the map. It's the inspirational, qualitative goal you're really shooting for.
So what makes an objective great? Well, it can't just be some random task. It has to be significant, something that really matters. And it needs to be concrete and action-oriented. But honestly, most importantly, it has to be inspirational. It should be like a rallying cry for the team, something so memorable that it points everyone in the exact same direction.
All right, so you've got the inspirational destination. Now for the second half of the equation, the key results. If the objective is where you're going, your key results are the road signs that tell you you're actually on the right path.
Now, this is where the rubber meets the road. Key results have to be measurable and verifiable. There can't be any gray area at all. Here's a little test. At the end of the quarter, could a total stranger look at your key result and say with 100% certainty, yes, that happened, or no, it didn't? They need to be aggressive enough to really push the team, but, not so crazy that they feel impossible. And, of course, they have to have a deadline.
This side-by-side comparison makes the whole thing crystal clear. The objective is the what. It's the poetic, memorable destination. The key results are the practical, data-driven how. They're the proof that you're actually moving. You absolutely need both. You need the inspiration and you need the measurement.
Okay, theory is great, but let's see how this thing actually works in the real world. We're going to take a look at an example from Google, a company that's pretty famous for using OKRs to do amazing things. So first, just look at this high-level mission statement. This is the big why that fuels everything else. Notice the language here. Leave people, the planet, and our communities better. It's huge, it's ambitious, it's inspirational. A really great OKR is going to connect directly to a mission just like this. And here is where we see that connection in action. The objective is qualitative and inspirational. Be the neighbor everyone wants. So how do you measure that? Well, key result number 1 is just perfect. 100% of device orders shipping to/from customers will be carbon neutral by 2020. It is specific, it's measurable, and it's time-bound. But now look at key result 2. Require the highest ethical standards. How do you measure highest? This is actually a pretty weak key result because it's not verifiable. A much better version would be something like, achieve a 95% or higher rating on our annual supply chain ethics audit. See the difference? One is a judgment call. The other is just math. Measurement is everything here.
So really, what this all comes down to is creating a direct line of sight. The real power of OKRs is connecting your company's highest dreams, that big, motivating why, all the way down to the specific, measurable things your team is doing this quarter. It's the bridge that connects the vision to the actual work. And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Forget about everything else for a second and just ask yourself this one question for your own team or your own project. What is the one single inspirational objective that if you nailed it would change everything? Start right there.